Yes guys, Chris Bone here, Fit to Run coach. Earlier this week I posted a video of me doing some 400 meter efforts. So I thought I'd do a little analysis of my running technique and my running form and just show you a few things that I'm working on. So let's check it out. Right then, let's have a quick breakdown of my running form from the video I shared the other day. So a couple of points about this video. This was just under 400 meters. My average pace was 2:52 per kilometer. Average cadence was 202 and average stride length was just over 1.7 meters. So I am pushing the pace here, so my stride rate, stride length is increased. My usual kind of typical stride length and cadence, if I was to go for like a steady run, would be mid 170s for the cadence and about 1.3 meters in terms of my stride length. So obviously I am pushing the numbers here a little bit more, but let's just have a little look at the running technique here. So we'll look at some initial contact with the ground. So let's look at that right foot as it lands then. So initial contact is there. What we look at is where that contact is in relation to your center of mass. So you can see it's just slightly in front of the body, but not too far, so it's not an overstride. So you don't want to see that leg kind of going too far out in front of the body. And you can see it's landing under a slightly flexed, the foot is landing under a slightly flexed knee. So that's how we want to do it. That'll be better for absorbing the landing each time. You don't want that foot landing too far out in front of the knee or in front of the hip. From there, we look at the extension through the hip at your toe off there. So at toe off position, quite good extension through that back hip, which is good. It shows we're getting a nice forward propulsion using the glutes effectively. In terms of my upper body, it's quite upright, quite nice posture, but then could potentially actually have a little bit more of a forward lean from the ankles, though not from the upper body. You don't want to just drop in that chest or lean in that upper body down or forward. We want to have a slight forward lean from the ankles. Again, that will help with that forward propulsion, help us going that way more rather than shooting ourselves up too high, and it will also help with your overstride. So if you are overstriding, having a slight forward lean will make it easier for you to land that foot closer to your center of mass. Let's have a little look at the left side. There's initial contact. Not the best angle to look at this, but again, slightly in front of the body, but again, landing under a slightly bent knee, but again, not an overstride. But sometimes on this left side, this is the side which I tend to overstride more in comparison to my right, which I'll show you a bit later in the video. As I get a bit more fatigued when I run, that left leg is more likely to overstride. But that landing there was good. Let's have a look at that toe off. Again, quite good extension through the hip again. Again, upper body posture's good, but again, could potentially just increase that angle, get myself angled a little bit more forward. So have a little look at the upper body. In terms of the arm swing, nice drive on the way back there. But one thing I am noticing with my running when I've seen pictures or videos recently is you look at my right arm as I come through, it's getting quite grippy, sort of across my chest, almost like I'm trying to hug myself as it comes across. It's fine for that to kind of come towards the midline, but it just looks to me like it's just coming around just a little bit too much, which could indicate I'm a little bit tight in the chest, maybe through the lats a little bit as well, so maybe a little bit of mobility work for that upper body. Let's look at it kind of in full flow. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Looking quite strong, looking quite powerful as I run there. But there's definitely a couple of things to work on. Increasing that forward lean definitely is one of them, and just being extra careful like I'm trying to be at the moment in terms of that overstride, particularly on the left side. So let's have a little look a little bit later in the video, and I'll see if I can show you an example. Let's see that this one here, that left leg. See how now it is just slightly further in terms of that stride than it was previously. And the foot landing, that's probably just before, it's right on the verge of contact there, but it's just slightly in front of that knee as well. So it's something I need to continuously work on, try and keep my stride length a little bit shorter. And obviously doing some activation work for the hamstrings, glutes to try and get that foot pulled down to land closer to my center of mass, and again having that slight forward lean angle will definitely help that. But overall, pretty pleased with it. But it's always good to look at your technique, look at your form, just to give you things to work on in terms of what muscle groups you should be training in the gym, but also some technique points you can work out when you're out on your runs. So if you are going to change your technique